We talk football and current events, sitting and chatting with the very best guests, with two Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes, Sitting and Chatting.
Hello and welcome back to Sitting and Chatting podcast. I'm Whyte.
I'm Jamie Allan.
How you doing, Jamie?
Better than you, I suppose.
Is it obvious? Like, so?
I don't know. Sorry, that was off the cuff comment. You know, there was no intention behind it. It's clear to see that you're a bit under the weather. Is that the words we should use?
Yeah, that's a good way of using it. So the reason why we're not in the studio today is mainly because I don't like make Jamie ill, which, you know, I'm a caring soul.
Yes, a change.
Fuck you. So for those in case, so for what happened was basically, you know, in our work we sometimes get incentives, and you know, if we win we get big treated to a night out sort of thing. This time, you know, it was our store to win. It was already a bit of a bad start to the night. I'm not gonna lie, Jamie. I was entrusted with driving, so but you know, that's fine. No big deal. Working the next day. On the way in, it's in the middle of Leith. Basically, was trying to find the space to park. Didn't notice the speed camera in the middle of the road, and I got a flash. So that'll be a nice £60 penalty through the door. Then going on from that, we sat down and having a really nice, lovely dinner on like some dock outside. It was beautiful, except for the part when I drove home and then was sick all of the night afterwards, and then decided, you know what, I haven't been sick in a few years. I could probably hack work for a few hours.
Yep.
When I work, and within about 10 minutes, I spew everywhere in my work, which was a bit of a red neck, I'm not gonna lie.
Was it in the back office? Or?
Yeah, thankfully that would have been horrific. It was actually on the stairs on the way up, but yeah.
Oh, did you have to clean it as well before you went home?
Of course I did. I'm not going to make some other poor bastard clean up my
street. Fuck guy.
So, you know, I've done my due diligence, got that cleared up, went home, still kept throwing up, and, you know, and did until about 1 o'clock today. So, you know, I'm very hungry, I'm very fucked, but you know, we get a podcast done. This is getting recorded no matter what.
Straight facts, by the way. You know, no matter how under the weather we are, we're here.
Like, that shows just how desperate you and me are now at this point to get to the fucking 100 mark. Because if this was like 2 years ago, 100% this wouldn't get recorded.
I would have patched it for sure.
100%.
It just shows you that, you know, the strides that we've taken.
Exactly. And you all better be appreciative bastards.
Exactly. Yeah. Nah, to be fair though, I'm quite fucking. It's a blessing in disguise. Let's be honest. The whole idea of being ill, right? Because if you weren't ill, we're actually recording this on a Tuesday rather than a Wednesday, which is unusual. It's as much as I feel bad that you're unwell, it's a blessing in disguise for me. So,
listen, if it was the way I was a few hours ago, it would be happening. But you know, I've said to you before, I've got the spew bucket ready just in case something were to happen. But you know, we go through no matter what. I'm no fancying like anything getting cut out as well. So I'm doing my absolute best to get through this hour. Basically,
fair enough. Now back that. What was I going to say? What you going to inevitably have for a bit of scram then? What you think?
Well, so far in the last 48 hours, I've had 3 grapes. I might treat myself to another couple of grapes. You know, grapes are fucking divine, especially when you can't taste anything. It's fucking class.
They are. You know what? Just grapes in general. By the way, can we just talk about that real quick? By the way, is it red or green you've got?
I've actually got a mix, both.
So. For me, there's nothing better than red grapes, right? And then you fling a bit of green in there, you know, we can tolerate it, it's not bad. But see, grapes in general, not even just when you're unwell, as a snack, fucking phenomenal, by the way.
Arguably best snack out
there. Would you say it's the best fruit?
Yeah, actually, do you know what I would? See, just quickly though, you know, you're saying like red or green. See if you're gonna have an apple. What colour of apple would you have?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm not going to lie. See, the way I see it is there's a type of apple that somehow I managed to forget the name of it. I can't even remember what it's called. But it's a type of apple. Fucking banging. I'm pretty sure.
Pink Lady,
it's
Pink Granny, something like that. Oh no, it's a green one.
It's a green one. Although Pink Ladies, by the way, Pink Lady apples are good.
See, gone for grapes, I'd always pick green if I had like one of the two, but gone for apples, I'd always pick red.
Interesting. See, for me, if I'm see the thing is, right, see if I walk at Tesco's,
yeah,
and I'm going for fruit in particular because I'm craving a bit of fruit. For me, my go-to is probably grapes, but I'd be very tempted to. I'd be struggling not to pick up strawberries.
Lovely,
big fan.
Lovely cheeky wee bit of strawberries. I would say I'd probably pick grapes or apples first, but strawberries are a close third.
See, I think an apple's a lunchtime party a meal. Do you know what I mean? It's a proper. You've got to scran an apple.
Yeah.
You can back a couple of grapes and you can back a couple of couple of strawberries without even thinking about it. But with an apple, I feel like it's like you've got to eat it. Do you know what I mean? The whole thing. Because if you leave an apple, it goes all that fucking brown way and you can't really eat it.
So your hands are always sticky as fuck after you.
Well, fuck it. So for me, it's grapes or strawberries.
That's what you want as well. Lovely wee bit of melon. Can love a wee bit of melon.
It's a hard graft getting a bit of melon though. That's the problem.
Yeah, no, the trouble is we shouldn't have started all this because that's when they can't eat properly. I'm now fucking dying for some food and I can't have anything in case I throw up again. But anyway, yeah, it's always that thing as well. Like, see when you're ill, like properly ill, and you can't eat anything. That's always the times where you crave food the most. It's just like, oh, I'd fucking kill to be able to eat X, Y, and Z, but you can't.
100%. See during when I had COVID, I swear to God, the amount of food I craved. Right now, I've always been a big believer of I've never craved food.
Yeah,
I genuinely hadn't believed I'd craved food.
Yeah,
but see during that very moment, I couldn't. Anything I seen, I was like,
just desperate to eat.
So everything I seen, I was like, oh, that looks nice. But then see after maybe like 3 days in, realising I couldn't taste fuck all. Oh yeah, bastard. It was a struggle. I started craving random things like cheesy pasta. And I'm like,
yeah, no, I do as well. Nachos and cheese for some reason. That's like a big one for me as well. Like,
by the way, what a scran. Yeah, just rapid. By the way, have you tried the nachos at Subway?
Well, like the nacho chicken bite things.
No. So the ones we get is it's like cheesy nachos. Oh, mate, honestly, you should try it. It's fucking.
What's that?
Cost one
like, you seen like a chicken?
Portion.
You seen like a chicken ones that they do?
I've seen them, but I've never tried them to be fair, but I've seen them.
Nice, yeah. Anyway, moving away from food, shall we move on to the wall, even though the guests can't see it?
Aye, go for it. Aye. Let's
so for those that don't know what this is the Shite and Quality wall. Basically, each week me and Jamie go through 5 different random topics as per in the envelope. And basically, every time that we go through something, we have to come to an agreement if it's shite or quality. The further down the shite end it is, the shitter is, the higher up the quality end, the more quality it is. So, Jabba, tell me when to stop the rustling.
Stop.
Ooh. Drinking games. We've got things like, your Ring of Fire, your beer pong, your, truth or dare, that sort of stuff.
See, I like the idea of drinking games that you have made up, like, see the FIFA one you've made?
Oh, Drunk FIFA. Oh, how can I forget? It's on a fucking wall right behind the rest of them.
Banger an idea. See the standard ones, like beer pong and all that, like, they're all right. They're kind of, very Americanized, if you will, right? But see, in general, see the ones you have made, like with the FIFA one, banging shout. I'm a fan. I can't lie. Yeah. I'm a fan. I feel like it brings an added element to the night, if you will.
Yeah.
You can you know, you can all have a drink, have a laugh, be with your pals, have a good bit of a natter in a way, you know. But see, when you add a bit of drinking in with games, spices up that night even more. Do you know what I mean? Big fan. I do.
What I will say is, and it's probably more to do with who you're with at the time, you can get people who, see, for me, it always goes one of two ways, right? So I'm someone that if there's a night on, like, you know, a drinking night on at someone's gaff, I will always be there, even if I've got work the next day. I might not have a lot to drink because I've got work the next day, but I'll always shop for a bit. And inevitably, there'll always be drinking games coming on at that point.
Yeah.
Someone that doesn't want to get that arse for work the next day, it's that case of when it comes to drinking games, you know, I'll gladly volunteer myself out just because, you know, if you're taking part, you have to take part 100%. That's my kind of way of thinking.
I agree with that, Philly.
So, like, I'll sit out and I'll get people, you know, kind of bollocking me, which, you know, is fair enough. You just want to see your mates have a good time. But there has been quite a few occasions where I've been with people who are very much one end of the spectrum and are just doing it for the fun. And even if they lose, they don't do the game. And those are on the complete opposite end where, you know, there'll be fucking, you know, pints flowing over the place if that hasn't happened, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it can lead to a bit of tension, shall we say, on the drinking game front. And then also as well, if you get the people that aren't interested, not listening, it kind of slows down the night, you know, not that many people are taking part. But I think for the most part, you know, there are more benefits than downsides, and that's it.
I feel like, see, the trouble is, right, I feel like if I was to come to yours and everybody was there and we were to play drunk FIFA, I wouldn't get drunk.
Why? Because you're so good at FIFA.
I'm fucking frightening. It's scary.
Do you know what that is the reason though? You need to have quite a few drinks beforehand and then do it. Like,
even at that.
So the last time I played it, you remember Neil that was on the podcast?
Yeah.
When we last played that, we each went through a 20 crate of beer each in one game.
I mean,
that was deadly, and that was just from playing cunts online because every time they score, it was like 20, I think it was 10 or 20 drinks at that point. So then you go through one beer basically each goal, and then it finished on something like 10-1 or something like that. So I'm just fucked by the end of it.
It's like, see, there was one night I came back for being out on a night out, right?
Yeah.
And I was a bit away with it. You know that way when you're too smashed to sleep.
Yeah.
So I came home, laid down, I was like, oh fuck no. Like your ears are ringing.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I need to get back up. Get back up, right? Saturday night, I jump on Ultimate Team and start playing the weekend league. Right? And honestly, I won 6 games in a row in the weekend league. Took me for like silver 3 to gold 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Went to my bed, woke up the next day and was like, when the fuck did I play these games? And then obviously I realised that I'd played them last night, steaming, and was still outstanding. It's honestly quite something, by the way. I'm just fucking frightening.
Do you know what then? See, before I eventually move, I'll try and get one more like house party and we'll try and get a drunk FIFA night.
I'm game, by the way, because I'm fucking scary.
I want to see this, by the way, because I'm hearing a lot of shit chat from you, so I want to see it now backed up. So okay, so we're saying quality. How far? Because for me, like, I don't think it's like the very upper echelon of like quality, but I still think it's relatively high up.
It's up there. It's probably about halfway, maybe just a wee bit more.
Yeah, that's fair. I can back
because it adds an extra element to it.
Yeah. Right. Next one is specifically home gyms / home workouts. Thoughts and feelings.
Yeah, I'm getting the wrong guy, man. You see my figure. Home gyms, I'd like the idea of it.
Yeah.
I'd want to have one. I'd like to, you know, have that capability. You wake up, go downstairs, slap it a workout, go back up, have a shower, and deal with your day. No membership fees, no travelling to the gym. All sounds hunky dory, right? But I think it'd be fucking boring as fuck by yourself. Obviously, if you get the tunes on and that, fine, fair enough. Quite expensive, but in general, home workouts, I think they're a pile of shite, to be honest.
I totally agree with you. So, like, back during lockdown, when obviously we were trapped inside, trying to get a bit of exercise. I mean, you've seen my working conditions with being able to do homework. I have very little space in here. So it's all well and good making yourself a plan without any equipment and all that. But at the end of the day, like, you just don't get as much done as you do at the normal gym. You don't see the progression nearly as much because you don't do as well without the proper equipment with you. So it's that thing of like, if I had a specific room in my house that was just dedicated for workouts and I had all the gear in it, then yeah, I'd probably be down for it. But for your average Joe that can't afford that, it's just a load of shite, isn't it?
Definitely. I couldn't back that anymore. So for me, the home gyms serve a purpose.
Yeah, 100%.
However, the home workouts are fucking bullshit. So for me, I'd probably say it's, because it's two topics in one, say it's bang in the middle.
No, for me it's still shite, but I would say maybe kind of like the top third of shite, so it's not like all the way at the end. I
feel like having a home gym would outweigh having to do a home workout though.
Potentially.
But I'm happy to concede because home workouts are that fucking shite.
Right.
I like that notion. Go for it. Stop.
Oh, something that we'll be doing at the end of this year. Award shows. Well, that as well, but
see, this is hard for me, right? Because sitting and chatting award show every year, what a bubble. What a fucking watch. What an outstanding, just everything about it phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
The problem is I've never watched another one. And it's probably for good reason. Something, I've seen like parts of the VMAs.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking minuscule parts. The Mad Music one where the like best album of the year and that. I've seen some of them.
Yeah.
But again, it's snippets, it's clips. I wouldn't sit down and watch it because I'm not fucking weird. However, obviously every year I'll sit down and watch the Ballon d'Or. Whatever I did. You want to call that an award show.
Yeah, I mean, that's an award show.
Yeah, so I've got mixed emotions between them. For me, I'm not a fan.
Right. For me,
I like the idea of it.
Yeah. For me, they're a load of shite. Apart from the sitting and chatting one, obviously. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like a self-wank fest to a certain degree, isn't it? And unless there's some sort of banter about it, like ours is, then, it's a bit kind of shite, boring. Everyone's really appropriately dressed. It takes fucking hours, and they always say the same things when they're on stage, like, always greeting, like, oh, I want to thank my mum and dad, and all you for believing in me. It's like they're all kind of, they're just all kind of the same in that, aren't they? Like,
aye. No, when I watched like the VMAs and the music awards, I couldn't think anything worse than slapping my wrist until I'd watched their shows. But
like, if you were invited to one of these things, like, I'm not even sure I'd go. I don't even think I'd be that arsed about it.
It depends on the one, obviously. Like, I think if you'd said to me, right, Jimmy, you've got an invite to go watch the Ballon d'Or being presented, I'm gone.
Maybe I would for that one, but any other one, genuinely, I'm not sure I could be arsed.
I'm gone. You say to me, you can go and watch the best movie and all that shit awards.
Yeah, the Oscars, as it's
also the Oscars. There you go.
The best movie award.
Aye, fuck it.
So much catch your name, they should make it that.
But if you go and find maybe there's an invite to the Oscars, I'd be like, right, cheers for the ticket. How much can I punt it for?
Yeah,
that would be the mentality I'd take. But
yeah, for me, it's very much a lower third on the shite category.
Oh,
maybe not quite. Is it worse than Netflix documentaries?
Nah, it's not.
Okay, so just sort of slightly, very slightly above that then. I wonder how many people have actually made mad by this, because I've had a few people over in the flat and complain about our section, but they obviously don't know that this is the official chart and that nothing else can be altered.
I mean, who gives a fuck what they think? That's the way I see it.
It's literally just you and me, and that's what people love, is a democracy like we have.
Exactly.
Right. What have I got here? Oh, it's a crumpled one. Oh, okay. I can see this. We're going for the shite ones today. Airports. How do you feel about airports in general?
Well, I hate travel. So I've got no, like, I've no, you know, I'm impartial to the idea of an airport.
Really? Because I thought if you hated traveling, like airports would be like the fucking worst or one of the worst.
No, I'm impartial to the fact that they're there. Do you know what I mean? Landed in the Charles de Gaulle.
Yeah, we heard this story last week.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Banging in an airport, right? Big problem was I went to go fucking get a fucking bar of chocolate. 18 fucking euro, which equated to a tenner a bar of chocolate.
That for some milk.
No, it was dairy milk, granted, right? But fuck off with that amount of money. Nah, they're overrated.
Are they? I don't actually think anyone rates the airport. Like, if you
Nah,
think
they
about
are.
it, right, the airport is the worst part of the holiday, right? For starters, you're meant to arrive 2 hours early to them, which is, shite in general. For most places in Europe, you actually spend more time waiting in the airport than you actually do in the fucking air, basically.
Granted.
Once you're there, usually as well, you have to be up at like fucking 4 a.m. as well to get there. You have to spend about £1 million on parking, and it's nowhere near the airport. You then drive, they get a shitty bus in with a depressed sod that drives round the corners if he's Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah.
You're then waiting in a queue for fucking ages, having repacked and packed your gear so it all fits under that 20 kg. Chuck it through, you go through security again, you're having to wait an hour and a half just for some reason because you're told to get there 2 hours early. Then you finally get on the plane, there might be a delay in taking off, and then once you land, you have to go and pick up your bags, and it's just a load of shite.
I know.
If it wasn't for the fact that there was a guaranteed holiday at the end of it, I'd be putting it like possibly the very lowest.
Let me flip this on its head, right?
Okay, go for it.
I've done a fair amount of travelling in airports with work, right?
Yeah.
As part of our benefits scheme, or whatever you want to call it, we get lounge 1 access for free, right?
Is that like a posh lounge kind of thing?
Yeah, different gravy lounge. So there was one time I was going to Birmingham, training or some pish, right? Now obviously destination's fucking Beirut at this point, right? Birmingham, horrid. But I'm going there for work, right?
Just you on your ones.
Aye, going there, airport, like, right, banging. There's other people that's there from the company, but I'm not meeting them, I'm not talking to them. I don't know a lot of them. Get to the airport, right? Now this was Glasgow Airport. No, I'm lying to you, it was Edinburgh. It was Edinburgh Airport. And I goes in for Birmingham. You don't need to be there 2 hours early. But with the way travel's booked by the company, I'm there an hour and a half early, right? Got to Birmingham. I'm getting paid for it. I'm laughing. Got to lounge 1. Unlimited drink and unlimited food. I'm struggling to get on the plane. How about that?
I bet you wish you got there an extra 3 hours early.
So, genuinely, right? Went in, obviously got checked in and whatever, because you get checked into the lounges so then they can, say that you've been, blah, 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 all that bullshit. Sit down. Lassie comes there, she's like, what can I get you to drink? And I was like, I'm just going to take, I says, can I just get 5 bottles of Copperbug? I was like, that should.
Why 5?
I was like, that should do me for the duration.
Why 5?
I was like, because I was like, that'll do me for the duration. She was like, right, that's fine. And then she was like, you want any food? She was like, okay, there's a starter menu, there's the fucking main course, there's the dessert, and you can have as obviously much as you want. There's snacks here as well. I went, oh, you fucker, right? So as a starter, there was like, I had duck la rouge or some pish like that, right? And I swear to God, it was fucking incredible. Right, it tasted like chicken, but it was duck. Done in like a mad sauce. Crispy, banging. Anyway, right? She goes, right, main course, I've already ordered the duck for starter, mad fucking chicken risotto and for fucking main course. And I'm fucked at this point, right? Full. Because the portions are fucking wham as well. Before I've known it, there's another 5 copper burger on my table. She goes, we just replace the order once you're finished. I'm like, right. All right.
Just replace it. What the fuck were they thinking? Take
So
off an eggs on a 2-hour flight.
So I'm there. I've been there about 40 minutes. I've had a main course, my starter, and about 8 bottles of copper burger at this point. And I'm not leaving these 2 here. So I nicked the 2 of them, and I just about missed my flight by a ball here because I'd forgot about it. Now at this point, I'm a wee bit like,
A wee bit of fairness.
Right? I know I've got travel sickness. I'm like, oh fuck. Luckily, right, when I go for work travel, I get seated at the front, right, on purpose, obviously. Spewed about 8 times going to Birmingham.
What, on the flight?
Aye.
Oh,
And
no.
genuinely up and down 8 times, spewed every time.
What, in the bathroom or?
In the bathroom every time.
Well,
I know.
Pure bastard and passengers, man, smelling your fucking Whyte the entire way then.
I know it was coming. So I get up, I get down, I get up, I get down, and I'm up and down 8 times. And then before you know it, I've landed, right? And then get there, forgot I had a work king, didn't I? So I'm 2 hours in this work king, still a bit like, still a wee bit away with it. No mad with it, but I'm a wee bit away with it. And so we did the 2 hours work king. I go back to the hotel that I was in. Thought, just going to have another drink, fuck it. So I had another drink, had my dinner, KO'd for the rest of the night. Didn't go to the event the next day because I was hungover. Right? Checked in on my phone, right? Got somebody that was there to sign me in. Left, went to the airport, checked myself back in the lounge, done the same thing again, came back in. So see on that side of it, right? See if you have a lounge. Now, the lounge costs...
I'd all paid for.
It was all paid for, but the lounge thing, I think number one lounge is like, when you go in, it's 30 quid. It's like 30 quid for 5 hours or something, but it's like unlimited everything. So it's like, it's not even a bad deal. Obviously, I didn't pay for it, but in general, turn on the flip side, you're going to Tenerife, you need to be there 2 hours early, get yourself in the lounge, get done in. That's honestly, that's the flip side of an airport. How about that?
Yeah. However, I will say that is so like unusual for circumstances that I still don't think it can outweigh it.
Nah, I hate it wrong. That was a great time. I hope that was a great time.
Your best part of your holiday was the fucking lounge.
Nah, so anyway, we'll move on. Mate. We'll move on. I would say it's shite. They are shite. 100%.
Oh Jesus, more shite ones. Exams. So if you can see that.
Nah, there we go. Right, well, as somebody that took one, I can't comment.
Oh my god, the fucking you showing up for that exam was the funniest thing in the world. I know we've told it on the pod before, but please tell it again for in case the viewers haven't heard this story.
Well, so in high school, 4th year, exam time came around, and
was this even exam time or was this prelims?
It was prelims, let's be honest. Yeah. I never actually sat at exams, but so it was prelim times. We done it in the actual big assembly hall, the prelims, and I basically got spoken to by like the head teacher, or it was a deputy at the time, plus a supply teacher or support teacher, whatever the fuck I call. And they were like, right, look, you're taking one exam, because it's only one you're capable of taking. I was like, right, that's fine. What is it? They went, it's design and manufacturing. And I was like, right, that's cool.
What a class.
Was, by the way, what a bang of a class. I was like,
It was an
that's
absolute
fine.
fuck fest, but it was brilliant.
And they were like, so start studying around. Prelims in like 2 weeks. And your prelim date or your exam date, as they called it, is this date. Cool. Didn't study worth a fuck. Came to the day of the prelim, or the exam, if you will. Everybody used to be in the assembly hall by a certain period. By a certain time in the morning. Bear in mind that was the only that was the only task I had that day.
Let's get to this hall.
Let's get to the hall. Didn't have school. I could go home after it. And I woke up and went, I'm not going to make it. So I messaged my mum.
Wait, did you just wake up late then? Or?
Aye, so, well, I woke up, I was up all night playing PlayStation.
That's
right. You're a wee guy. Fuck it, you know what I mean? And I woke up late and it was like, I don't know, let's say, I know it wasn't, but let's say it was like 4 o'clock. Let's not say that. It was at 11 o'clock, the prelim. I woke up at 10:30 and I only stay 10 minutes away.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds like enough time to get there, Jimmy.
Aye, but I had my routine. Anyway, I phoned my mum.
This man will not be rushed.
Exactly. So I had my routine, but as I messaged my mum, I was like, Mum, look, I'm late for this. Where are you? She was like, I'm working. Why? What is it? And I was like, Mum, I'm late for a prelim, blah, blah, blah. Right, well, you're a fanny. Yes, I know. Right, blah, blah, blah. So then I had to go down. So, well, no, I went, went in the shower, and then went down the stairs, made breakfast, and then
this cunt's making breakfast with his meal up.
And then I walked into school and walked into the exam hall while everybody was already seated at their tables.
About like after 20 or 30 minutes later, something like that.
Yep. And I walked in.
10 minutes
I walked in and they still let me do it. I was like, fair enough. No. And the best bit is I failed it.
No, the best bit about all of that was he was in about half an hour early and he finished about 10 minutes before everyone else had walked out and This guy had the absolute cheek to stand up after about half an hour of work and went, that's me done, hard one.
That just shows you, but I already knew everything, do you know what I mean? I just done it that quick.
Oh, yeah, he done it that well.
I was ahead of the game.
Be honest, do you regret it, yes or no?
Nah, not the slightest. It's been made for good laughing. Like,
was your mom that furious?
Nah, my dad didn't give a fuck. My mom was like, "We're a fan," and I was like, "Ah," and then that was that. Nah, they didn't give a fuck. I mean, it was idiotic, let's be honest, but it was funny. It made for good stories, such as on Sitting and Chatting podcast. So,
of course, and we know a good story for Sitting and Chatting is always the best.
Exactly. Imagine I was sat here with that story. How fucking boring.
Exactly.
So,
you've got a fanny like me that turned up on time to their exams. I mean, who does that? Like,
I know. Did you pass that very prelim?
Design manufacturer? Nah, I passed that. I don't mind if I passed the prelim, but I passed the exam.
Aye.
Sure. Nah, my God, what a load of pish, by the way. I haven't studied 2 times in the year as well for different exams, one of which doesn't even matter. Fucking hell.
Aye. It's a giraffe, the whole system. The system's corrupt.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're being honest, it has to be potentially the lowest out of all of them. Because, let's be honest here, it brings no joy to anyone. It only brings stress unless your name is Jamie Allan, who doesn't give a fuck. And then as well, they're very unfairly marked if you are someone that, say, maybe has learning difficulties or doesn't, thrive in that environment. Hence, or many other people for that matter. And also, as well, they're taking in fucking boy aches of conditions, hundreds of you in one hall at a time, Can't he fucking sneeze without getting like fucking thrown out the door? It's a load of shite. It deserves to be right at the bottom, in my opinion. There's nothing worse than them.
I can do nothing but back it because I sat one and I was in it for like 10 minutes and that was it. So
Jamie knew how bad it was to got out there early.
I just didn't. I was
Did
like,
you actually fill out the full exam paper? Or did
nah,
you
honestly, I can't tell you. I can't mind. You know what my memory's like at the best of times, and you're asking me a question about fucking 7 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Oh god, that's bad to think.
Exactly. It just about made me spew thinking about it there.
Shows the age, doesn't it? That means you've been full-time working for 6 years.
That's like that. But in general, I can only bit back you. Fuck knows. That's right.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, that's the end of the law. Just very quickly, a wee note I wanted to bring up. I forgot to do at the start. What a fucking episode, by the way, last week.
Big time, shout out to Oliver, by the way. If you've not seen last week's episode, go watch it right now.
It's 2.5 hours, but fuck me, it's incredible.
I mean, stop watching this one, go watch that, because that's how fucking good it was. Then come back and watch this, obviously. But you know something? An incredible episode.
One of the best.
Stories were phenomenal. I did love it. Shout out,
not to sort of spoil things for people, but if I hadn't had to cut out certain parts of it would have been the longest.
Yeah,
I mean, short by about 2 or 3 minutes sometimes.
I mean, let's be honest. There's
one or two things that could not remain in there for legal reasons.
Nah.
Do you know what? As to quote Jamie Allan, he was by far and away no para to tell us anything and everything, which I have full respect for.
There was stories in there that could have got me the sack. So
could have got you the sack. Could have got him the fucking sack.
Well, that's granted, but you know, it was honestly one of the best episodes we've ever filmed. But I wish that the uncensored moments could have been shared, to say the least.
Just a quick thanks to Oliver. We'll definitely have him again back at some point in the future. Let's face it, you could probably go for another 2.5 hours quite easily. Easy. Yeah. But right, moving on then to stories of the week, shall we say? You want to go first?
Nah. I'm happy for you to take the lead on this one. Primarily because we're recording this on a Tuesday, right? This is for anybody listening. We're recording this on a Tuesday. Unprepared.
What?
Nah. Let's be honest. You know, I'm an open book. I'm an open book when it comes to my people.
Yeah, I've never done one of these unprepared in our lives
until today. Tell you what, right, we'll move straight into the deep end. Because why the fuck no, right?
Okay, go on.
Shamina Begum, right?
Impeccable pronunciation.
Right, fuck it, I'm going for it. What's she got today? Come get me. No, she's not in the country. So, on that note, right? She's on her ones in Syria, right?
Do you want to explain the story to maybe anyone that doesn't know, like going back?
Aye. Well, how will you pronounce her name? Shamina Begum, whatever.
We'll say Shamina for now.
Aye, I don't know what it is. Who cares? Primarily, it was a lassie who had a wedding, didn't she? Here.
No, she had the wedding when she was in Syria.
Okay. Right, so she was pregnant when she was here, though.
Yeah, right? she was underage. I think she was 15 months left.
Aye, so she was an underage lassie who I'm pretty sure was pregnant at the time, who had ISIS affiliations.
She was coerced, shall we say. She was led to believe certain things.
Exactly. And she was public and vocal about it. And for that very reason, she was removed from the country.
I think there was 3 of them that left at the same time. So I think it was her and 2 of her mates as well.
That's right, aye. And the whole dilemma behind it was because she wanted her baby to be born in the UK. So she could claim for citizenship and whatnot.
Yeah.
UK government decided, no, fuck that, get out. So the three of them left anyway to Syria, and again were, you know, let's be
a wee bit fair to her. I mean, like, she did have to go through some fucking hardships when she was over there.
Fucking granted, 100%. I mean, the idea of being underage and falling pregnant alone is, you know, not ideal. That's, you know, that's the culture and that's the belief she chose at the same time. Do you know what I mean? But in respect, she did go through a lot of shit. Has done, probably still is. However, she's trying to reclaim her citizenship in the UK. She wants to come back. It was basically shut down.
Yeah,
the last time.
I think it was the only time ever a former, like, someone that was born in the UK was denied their UK citizenship.
Yeah, that's right. Aye. However, since then, she's made a magnitude of requests to come back, and they've all been not responded to. And then this time, the reason it's getting media attention is because I think it was Good Morning Britain.
Yeah, done like a interview.
Done an interview over the internet, and she was in Syria, and you know you could see she was in like a kind of camp of some sort, and she basically pleaded to the UK government, UK people to let her back in.
It's like a final Hail Mary as such.
Basically going head with the medal. Look, I want to come back. It's all behind me. Blah blah blah. A lot of bullshit anyway. So I mean, did you watch the interview?
Yeah.
What did you make it? How did you find it, Jink? It was sincere, Jink. It was honest. Which
I think it is, but I mean, partly. Look, I know this is going to sound potentially bad, but I reckon obviously part of the reason why is, you know, as, you know, any mother, father, any parent should do really is like they're probably thinking about their kid first in a certain sense.
Yeah.
And they're probably thinking, well, I mean, she's seen it herself, like her two mates that she went over with were killed in bombings and like, you know, by soldiers and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she lost one of her own children to bombing as well. So part of me does sort of sympathise with her in a way where like, yeah, that must be fucking horrific, especially considering when you think about it, the first one she had was probably unconsensual when she was 15, sort of thing. Like, that's fucked up. And is that a thing of like, part of me almost wants to be like, yeah, we'll help out the kids, but not as much as you like, sort of thing. But it's such a difficult moral dilemma, and one which, you know, both you and me are very unqualified to sort of think about it. But in terms of the interview, genuinely, she did seem like she gave a shit. Like, I'm not trying to say she like stood up there and just lied, sort of. I don't think she entirely did. I do believe she will say whatever it takes to get back in the country. I'm not saying that. However, it did seem for the most part genuine. Yeah, what was your take on it?
No, I agree with it 100%. I feel as though I don't sympathise with her at all. I'm the complete opposite.
It's more our kids I sort of feel bad for.
Aye, but
because they didn't get a choice in the matter.
No, but she had a choice and she fucked it. But I don't sympathise with her in that sense, right? But what I do appreciate is the struggle she has gone through. But again, it was via her believing in something so ridiculous. But obviously, you know, it happens. You get hypnotised, you get fucking
especially if you realise what age she was as well and how
you do get brainwashed.
I mean, it's clear she's grown up, seen the real world as for is, and realised her fuck ups from there, basically.
I do think majority of the interview, if not all, there was a couple of things that were said. I was a bit like, but in general, for the best part, I was like, you know what, I get it, but it's still not enough for me to be like, welcome her back in. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not a case of like, I think if like, because there's that whole thing of like, like as well. I don't know if it was mentioned or not during the interview, but you know, like she was in pretty casual clothing. I'm not entirely sure of like the laws of her religion, but am I not right in thinking beforehand she would have had to have been fully covered up for something like that? Or
I mean, I
like,
would assume so, yeah.
is she like fully renounced her religion as such, or is it just a case?
I know, I
that
don't
she's
think
just
she
gonna
has. I
Right.
don't think she has. But the thing is, she's in Syria.
Yeah.
Certain parts of Syria are probably less strict than the others.
Probably.
And the camps maybe a bit different as well. But in general, having a hijab on and stuff would have maybe been what was
I thought
required.
so. Like I said, I don't know entirely, and that's not criticism. Sorry, that's just genuine curiosity because I don't remember it being brought up at all in the interview.
No, I don't know. But she was in like a night top and all that shit. She was in casual classics.
Yeah. Look, it's that thing of does she deserve entry? I think it's entirely dependent of if she's willing to give because I know she's kind of renounced ISIS and all that. And she's kind of not on the run from them as such, but she's not a part of them anymore. I think it's entirely that thing of if she's willing to give up and give intelligence and basically spend the rest of her life working for UK intelligence, can kind of see a reason why for it, just because of the benefits that might give. But
I feel as though you can do that without her being in the country.
Potentially, yeah.
And realistically, there's no way that our intelligence lasts endless amount of years.
Oh yeah, no, of course not.
You know, so it's one of those ones that I'm like, is it worth sacrificing? You know, the reality is we don't know if she's telling the truth.
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge.
So you think to yourself, is it worth risking lives to potentially save lives?
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, what stance do you take, you know?
No, I agree with you. It's that thing of just yeah, right, she has kind of fucked it. I'd feel more inclined to totally shut her off if she was in her 20s and she made her decision. But because she was still a teen when she done it, I do feel almost a wee bit bad. And I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for it, and potentially rightly so, no matter what way you look at it. I find it a wee bit hard to sort of look at someone when they're 15 and realise the mistakes that they did, even as fucking massive as the one she did, and sort of say totally unforgivable for the rest of their life.
No. You can definitely come back from mistakes, but the problem is there's mistakes and then there's what happened.
Yeah.
It's all right making a mistake, getting pregnant underage, or and I say it's all right, but in general, these things happen, and these are mistakes that you can always come back for. But to affiliate with a terrorist group set out to kill citizens of a country you currently living in is a wee bit different.
I think she was born here as well. I don't think she was. It's fucked up because, like I said, I don't know. I know you're fully set on. I'm 90% sure to not bring it, but there's that. I'll be honest, there's that slight part of me that's kind of
I think there'll always be doubt in everybody's mind, which I mean. So I don't know. We'll probably leave it up to the experts. Up to the guys that can make decisions.
Nah, and I mean, whatever way happens, I think as well. The trouble is for her, I think the British government know as well there'd be far more of an outcry if she was let back in opposed to not. Yeah. So I don't know what you think, but I don't personally think she'll ever get let back in. But
nah, I doubt that.
But yeah, it's that thing of it's a bit of a fucked up situation. I'm glad I'm not having to deal with it, put it that way.
I know, 100%. But, well, we'll see what happens with it. Obviously, it's at a standstill yet again, and it probably will stick to that until it
goes
away.
Is it actually confirmed though? Because I thought, what's the argument that they're kind of basing this on then? To let it back in?
No, well, there isn't an actual argument. It's a case of she's made the plead, and it's not been dealt with as per last time.
Right, okay.
So realistically, it's stuck at limbo again. The last time she requested access back to the UK, it was patched for, I think it was 6 or 7 weeks.
The Home Office were just nah.
I know, they literally just patched the request, Never dealt with it. And then out of nowhere, another request came in. Again, they patched it, and I think the third request came in and they denied it access.
Yeah.
And then obviously she's made the video now, and well, she had the interview, sorry, in order to, you know, make that kind of, like you say, one last fucking Hail Mary, gives a chance, you know what I mean? But other than that, fuck knows, you know. There's I don't know if there's an argument. I think the arguments is probably what we've put across, and maybe a bit more, obviously, but in general, the general consensus is, do we allow somebody that's, you know, done what she's done back into the country? So,
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
We'll wait and see how it goes.
Yeah.
On to no more happier news, shall we say. As I've said many times on this show, I'm a massive fan of Only Fools and Horses. My favourite show of all time. One of the main side characters, Boise, also known as John Chalice, unfortunately passed away. Just going back there, like on Sunday, I believe it was. Oh, that ripped me up as well. Like that was it. I like, you know what I mean? Where like BBC News, like alert comes through. It's like, look at it. Just a second, I was like, oh fuck, that is actually kind of sad sort of thing, because it's like, it's a massive character in what is like the show that influenced my childhood and adult life to a certain extent the most of everything. And yeah, it was just the sort of like, has there ever been like a time where like a celebrity, or not necessarily a celebrity, but has there ever been like a death of like a person that you didn't know that kind of not choked you up, but like got you in a certain way, like, oh fuck?
Nah, not that I can think of the top of my head, but there has been somewhere I've been like fuck me, that's like real life's hit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head, but I can see why. Do you know what I mean? I feel like there will be in due course celebrities that will, you know, pass away that I'll be like, fuck me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, it feels. I don't know if it's just that thing of feeling mortality and us getting older. But if you think about literally from like 2020 to now, people like Sean Connery, Sean Locke, you know, Maradona, and now him as well. It's just like I know that's only like 4 people, but like to me, it's like 4 massive like pieces of like my life and that have just died. It's just like, oh shit, like.
I agree with you. I feel like Maradona, we knew that was coming. The cunt couldn't stop sniffing gear. But, you know, like Paul Walker as well, he was part of a massive franchise. Even in that time, like, granted, it's fell off, right? Franchise. But at the beginning, fast, 1 to about 5, maybe. Aye. Run a bit there. Massive part of your life. Him gone, that was, you know, that hit. No, to the point where I'd be like, you know, dead upset, choked up by it, but it was still like, fucking hell, it's mad. Do you know what I mean? You can go at any moment. But sort of like people like Sean Locke as well, who I could stick a 8 out of 10 Catsters countdown video on my iPad, watch it for 4 hours, and then realise who a fucker that guy's dead. Do you know what I mean? It's just things like that. It's just really fucking scary. It's scary, but no, nothing that's got me. No, off the top of my head, it's got me kind of choked up or well up, you know. But I know the day will come.
I know. I did feel kind of shite about that for like a few minutes. I was just like, oh fuck, like that's something that I like fucking love watching. I still love watching on the TV now, like. But yeah, just wanted to say R.I.P. John, and thank you for making my childhood and adult life very entertaining. Much appreciated, big man. Rest in
memories,
peace.
man.
Yeah. Right, so we'll get on to maybe more trivial topics then.
Cheerier news and all that.
What you want me to go or you want to go?
Nah, go for
it. We Pep Guardiola's having a wee bit of a rant with City fans.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, City played in the Champions League against RB Leipzig. It was a bit of a thrilling game, shall we say? 6-3. It was a very Pep Guardiola performance, end-to-end sort of action. But with the game, as usual on Champions League nights at the Etihad, due to a multitude of different reasons, but either way, it wasn't how should we say, filled out. So as a result, Pep sort of made the plea for fans to actually turn up on Saturday, and that got quite a lot of people riled up. Firstly, do you think he should make comments like that?
You should be able to, 100%. But see, the thing is, right, not to go off topic too quickly, but in general, obviously, I go to Rangers games. There's been many an interview with Gerrard where he basically says, look, I'm going to need the fans behind us on Saturday. I feel as though it's no case of him telling you, look, you're being shite, get a grip. It's more of a, if you are in top form tonight, we need you even better next week. A lot of fans see it like that. But asking, it's the way he worded it.
Yeah, it's the phrasing. If you'd said like the way Gerrard say it, like, I need you to be at your best sort of thing.
Full voice, that sort of idea.
Yeah,
100%.
that would get away with it fine. It's the wording of it, like you said, for pissing off. Because let's be honest, City, the main joking point for them has always been the lack of fans. And as much as me and Jamie also banter about it as well, it's bullshit to a certain extent. But
what do you mean?
Well, in the sense of like before they were a big club, they always had a massive following in like the lower ends.
Oh no. It's the empty had for a reason. They've got like 70,000 seats and they can barely fill 40,000. It's embarrassing.
They do fill out most Prem's weeks. It's always Champions Leagues or like cup games. It's always empty as fuck. I don't know.
It's called the empty had for good reason. I know it's meant to be a joke, but the joke started somewhere. That's what I'm going to say. No, I feel like if it just says to them, look, I need the fans to be there every step of the way, that's acceptable. To say, I need you to turn up.
Yeah, it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it?
It's different because, again, you could take it, like, see if Gerrard was to say, look, I need the Rangers fans to turn up next week. As in, like, turn up the volume.
Yeah. But
depends on where you say it.
Do you know why, though, that would be fine, though? Because every single game or every single away game, you always sell out tickets.
Aye, I suppose that's fair.
So they know that they're not. So they would know then that he's not talking about like, oh, we've not sold enough tickets or whatever. It would, but if you say that to a City fan who knows that the joke is you've got no fans, basically.
Yeah. Empty head.
Yeah, that's the sort of banter line. And then obviously as well, the support groups came out and then basically said, Pep, worry about football, basically. Don't focus on fans. To which he was basically like, fine, I'll leave if you want me to, basically.
It's funny because the demise of Pep has been happening for a couple of years, whether people have wanted to see it or believe it. Granted, he's won trophies, got to a final with the Champions League, but the demise has started. It's happening. It's happened. The bit of business that they played in the last transfer window alone was terrifying. Getting Grealish in was shocking. Terrible move, right? Scandalous. The fact that Pep Guardiola can go out and go, you know what I can add to this City team is Jack Grealish, is mortifying. But I think the demise has been happening, and it's not at its peak yet, but it's very fucking close. It's interesting, and I said at the start of the season, as we done a wee predictions, if you will, and I said they would breeze the league.
I think we are both kind of similar. Not like I didn't say breeze, but I think they would win it comfortably.
10-15 points was what I was gained them. I think current form, current state, they'd be lucky to finish third. Because the demise has seriously came to
I think next month they're due to play Tottenham, Liverpool and Chelsea on the same month.
Aye. So obviously depending on what happens there. Aye.
Yeah. I mean, if we win that, fucking hell, that'll be brilliant.
I honest, City isn't the biggest rivals this year. I genuinely believe it. I feel like Chelsea are playing outstanding. Man United look good. To be honest, I thought we've played phenomenal so far at the start of the season.
And
feel like we're still
expecting
lacking.
this. I was expecting us to be this good at the start of the season.
I agree. I think Mane's slowly finding form. Couple of goals maybe has opened the floodgates, if you will. I feel like we could have still done with a striker. Might need to be something that we look at in January, depending on how it's going. But
mid as well.
I know centre mid as well would be ideal. Having Fabinho back's been a fucking absolute blessing in disguise, by the way. But I feel like he's been very undervalued and underappreciated so far since he came back. Thiago's been looked at as like being one of our top players. I thought he's played all right. I thought Fabinho, the way he fucking just tidies up is amazing. So as I was saying right before I was rudely interrupted, we're back. In general, I feel as though Fabinho's the way he's been tidying up in midfield has been a blessing. Having Van Dijk back, so obviously a big pro. Having Robertson out has been phenomenal.
No. So what was your exact words when Champions League the other night?
Champions League the other night.
About Robbo's performance. What was your exact wording?
Who did we play in the Champions League? AC.
What was your wording about him?
No, I thought he was phenomenal.
Thank you.
I
just clicked, and I'm just going to use that for all I'm at.
It was back and forth all game in comparison to Trent, who is forward and lacklustre coming back. Trent's been good, don't get me wrong, this season so far. But in that one particular game, Robbo played outstanding. But
I've got the clip, ladies and gentlemen. I've got the clip.
He is still utter shite. He had one good game, you know what I mean? Fuck. Everybody has a blinder once in a while. But he is shite. That's
fucking fantastic every week.
He's a terrible soccer player.
The fact you just got the soccer team waterproof, you're lacking.
Nah. It's because I want him to go to the MLS. How about that?
He plays a fucking striker out there. He's like good.
In general, though, not to go too far off topic.
Yeah.
The way Pep's worded it, poor. But to be honest, Man City themselves, they should know that having fucking 20,000 empty seats a week isn't acceptable, and they should deal with that themselves rather than having the manager, being mouthy about it in an interview.
When does this contract actually end? I can't remember.
2024 or something.
Nah, so 7.5 years. Is that a thing though of like, it is weird when you think about it, right? Because I don't think he'll ever be viewed in the same high esteem that Klopp is valued at Liverpool.
No, fucking no chance.
And Klopp has won maybe a quarter of the trophies that Pep has. Like, it just goes to show you having a great relationship with a manager does well. Because even if Brendan Pep guaranteed more trophies, I wouldn't change Klopp for that personally.
No, not a chance. See, the way I see it is Pep. People will say what they want about Pep, and I back myself fully. He's a bang average manager. He's been given money to build teams every time, and he's performed well with the majority of teams based on their money. I used to slate Jose Mourinho for being a poor manager, right? But tactically, he's typically quite good. Defensively, he's typically phenomenal. But he's won shit at Porto without a lot of money. Granted, after then, after Porto, he's moved on to bigger and better things money-wise. And he's been successful. But what's Pep done? He's had money, Man City, money. He's a very, very bang average manager. His teams are very good at going forward because it's fucking pedal in the middle at all times. I genuinely don't rate him. I genuinely believe that if Klopp was to leave tomorrow, I would take what's his name? Fucking Manuel Pochettino. I'd take him before I'd fucking go in for Pep. Because I think he's a better manager. Granted, he's doing shit with PSG than that. But, it's because of the hype behind PSG. Do you know what I mean? That's what's going to get into him. But I don't rate Pep at all. I genuinely don't. Never have, and I don't think I ever will. If he was to go to a fucking fling him into a thriving West Ham side, who of last season, let's say, right, playing great football. In fact, let's go with Leicester. Got a good team, bit of financial backing now, right? I genuinely don't think he would get past group stages in the Champions League, nor would he finish top 4 in his first 2 seasons.
So you're saying Brendan Rodgers is a better manager than him?
He is, by far. Brendan Rodgers has proven that he's a better manager. No in Scotland, because what he done in Scotland was a piece of piss. You could have done that.
Whoa. Let's not forget about the mighty Aberdeen.
Exactly. You could have done what he done in Scotland as manager of that Celtic team. But he done it at Liverpool. He came very close at Liverpool. He went to Celtic. He had a very good time at Celtic. He won trophies and he won treble. He done his bit, to say the very least. But it was very simple in that league.
Yeah.
But then he went to Leicester and he's performed consistently well with Leicester.
Yeah.
Granted, they've not won nothing, but they're
the FA Cup.
Aye, that's true, I suppose. Aye, but in general, like, as in a league title challenging, no. Champions League challenging, no. But you're not expecting that. An FA Cup's an achievement.
Yeah.
So he is a better manager, 100%. And
very controversial.
Nah, not
I love it. At least you've given me a title for this.
Fair enough, I suppose.
Just wait for the fucking slate you and me in effect to get it.
I back it, Philly.
Fair. I mean, I don't agree with you, but fair enough.
What part you don't agree is a bang average manager?
Nah, he's definitely not my
yeah. So. You're wrong. We're not getting it because you're wrong, and I can't be asked arguing with you.
I honestly have not got the willpower to argue with you. If this was any other day, I'd be up for it, but no tonight.
It's because you're right.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're just both agreeing though that he was basically in the wrong for the way that he wanted it.
Aye, the way he wanted it is the reason he's going to sell it to border, so fuck him.
Right, what was your final topic then? What's the shout
out? Well, back in the qualifiers, international qualifiers, England played a game against Hungary, in which I believe Raheem Sterling scored, and went off to celebrate. No at anyone.
Just celebrate.
No, just celebrate in general. Enjoying his goal, to which he was in. No, in fact, I'm lying to you. He never scored.
Right, not.
No, he was running into the box, and he got challenged. He got tackled by a Hungarian player, and he fluffed his shot. And it was a good tackle, wasn't a penalty. And he got up. He didn't dive. He didn't ask for a penalty. Nothing. It was perfectly all norm. And then you see in the background there was monkey chants. You could hear it clear as day. The monkey chants. Bananas were thrown at him. Very racist, right? To say the very least. And there was no need for it. There never is a need, right? But in general, if you go up and provoke these fans, you expect to get something back, right?
Yeah, but he done nothing in that case.
But he done absolutely nothing. He was literally just playing football. He went to take a shot. He fluffed his shot. Laugh at him. Give him the fingers. Whatever you want to do. Just don't be racist. Anyway, it was investigated. It has been investigated by, for about a week and a half, 2 weeks now.
I mean, it didn't really require much work into the evidence and the fucking TV monitors.
Exactly. In the next game, Poland faced Hungary, and they were booing, they taking the knee, the Hungary fans, and Lewandowski pointed to the respect badge on his shirt, while looking directly at the Hungary fans. They were booing, taking the knee. Just extremely racist. So it was investigated, and the conclusion that they came to today, or I believe it was yesterday they actually came to it, and it's been announced today, I think, one or the other, was that the next 2 Hungary home games will be played behind closed doors, so no fans will be allowed in the stadium.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's a shite punishment. It really is. It's is bullshit.
Yeah, I mean,
Two
bans
games
for
is
life,
nothing.
maybe for the people that done it.
It's hard to narrow it down though. It is hard.
I get that in a sense, but also as well, like for as much stick as the Hungary fans are getting, and it's rightly so. Like, let's be honest, not everyone there's a racist piece of shit.
No, it's a small minority, 100%.
Yeah.
But in general, the way I would, and these people have ruined it for
The others,
the normal spectators. But for me, I see it fitting that you play out the remainder of your qualifiers behind closed doors. I think that's is it 4 games? 4 games, I guess.
4 games left, yeah.
See the remainder out, irrespective of qualification or no. They get another shot. If they qualify, fine. Don't need to play it behind closed doors anymore. Obviously, it will no matter anyway because it'll be
at the World Cup.
It'll be at the World Cup. But at that point, if they were racist, so say they do their 2-game ban, right?
Yeah.
And they go back in and they're racist again, you ban all away Hungary fans for the World Cup. These are punishments you need to take in if you're actually wanting change to happen.
Oh yeah, no.
That's all taking the knee. As much as we can either promote it or demote it, if you will, it's bullshit, right? And it's not going to change. It's not going to see change. Seeing change is punishment. It's like, if that was the case, reincarnation. What the fuck have I just said? That came out of nowhere. I don't know where that came from. But fucking don't know where the fuck that came from. In general, though, right? If if you want to see change and you want to try and nullify racism out of football, you've got to give them bigger punishments than just a 2-match behind closed doors. It needs to be serious punishments.
You're entirely right. That is the way it should be. And I mean, it's more unfortunate as well because you're hearing it more and more from like the England players because obviously the same happened in Bulgaria beforehand as well. Like
very racist countries, though these ones. Like in general,
maybe... I don't like to fucking say the whole country's racist because yes.
Not everybody in that country, but in general, the country is. These countries are more racist.
But yeah, it's that thing of just like, yeah, right, it can't be tolerated. There needs to be the higher punishment. So yeah, right, I totally agree with you. They finished this 2-year ban. 2-year ban, 2-match ban. If like say it happens again afterwards, say if they don't qualify for the World Cup, right, fine, yous are all banned for a year, like something like that.
Yeah,
just like really fucking trying to stamp out. Happens again, right? 2-year ban. Fuck it.
No, I mean, even at that, like, just fucking totally ruin it. Just basically be like, look, you've qualified for the World Cup. We're not going to deny you access. Say they're racist at the World Cup, throw them at the competition.
Or even better, throw them out of the competition before they get there. Give it to the next highest placed team.
Yeah, Bulgaria. Anybody but that shit you're wearing. But nah. We'll see. But the Adidas badge, aye.
Yeah, I'm too
You're funny.
Also, you didn't see that.
I seen that.
Oh, fuck you cunt.
But nah, in general, throw them at the competition, be done with them. But it's obviously not going to come to that because if you're fucking para as fuck.
But it's weird though, right? Because you and me sit here, we've not pre-prepped this as we made it abundantly clear beforehand. And, we've just been sat in a call discussing this for 5 minutes or something like that. And we already seem to have a pretty, unanimous agreement about what to do. And I'm sure if you did the same with most average people, they would also have the same kind of viewpoint. So why is it then that the only people that don't have this viewpoint are the ones that are making the decisions? In charge. Yeah.
It is hard though, to be fair. Like, obviously, it's easy for us to say throw them at the competition.
I'm not denying it, but there's got to be a point where you're like, okay, fine. If you do want to see change, fine. I'll put my balls in the line and say, right, you're banned. Basically, fuck you.
Nah, I agree. It just takes one person to actually speak up and go, you know what? No, what they're doing is unacceptable. Let's throw them at the competition.
Yeah.
And if we can get enough people on the board to just unanimously vote, be like, I agree, get it done. But the consequences that come from banning a full country from a competition that isn't as you know, mad.
Yeah,
hence
it's
why
mad.
it's. But I do agree. Sunday should just speak up, put their cock on the table, and be done with it. You know, but it's not going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. On that cheery note, do you have anything else you want to add? Or?
No, I feel like we should let you get back to your sick bed.
I'm doing reasonably okay. I'd say I'm at a solid 40% health wise right now. You know?
That's good.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm debating whether or not to eat food, but it's that panic that I've got. It's like, oh shit, will something happen if I do?
Pure panicking with everything you do.
Literally, it's a fucking panic. So I might go and have a wee bit of toast. I might try that. You know, what a snack.
I like it. You know, toast is dynamite.
Yeah. Right. Until next time, then. I've been Liam Whyte.
I've been Jim Allan.
I'll catch you next week. Goodbye.
We talk football and current events, sitting and chatting with the very best guests. With two Scottish boys and we're loving it. So if you like witty banter, check the former #1 podcast on iTunes. Sitting and chatting.